Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will cover C# some important programming concepts. Here are the list. In this video we will explore like what is main method and how we can use it, what is the purpose of main method, can we create multiple main methods into that, and how we can call multiple main methods into our C# program in console application, and what are the command line arguments, what is this command line arguments, and we can create some program where we can write multiple main methods, and we can use single main method, and we will also use the command line arguments with a practical example. So let's begin. Our first topic is main method in C#. The main method is the main entry point of C# console application. Without it, it will not compile, and it will not run. It will throw an error without any main method. It is the first method that gets executed when the program starts. If we run our application, then it is the first method which will start. It is like a base of a program. It is must if that we have to mention that main method into our program class. It must be static and can have multiple valid signatures, and it must be static. Like if we put out the static keyword, it will throw an error like compile time error, there is something missing into your program, because a compiler needs to run that static main method when the application launch on first time. And we have multiple valid signatures, or you can say multiple valid formats, like method name, it is the method name or parameter types. Here are some main methods, like first one is static void main method. Here we are returning nothing, so we use void, and here we are using main method without any parameters. Next one is static void main with parameters. We are returning nothing like void, and here we are using parameters, string arrays arguments. And next here we are returning integer value rather than using void, but without parameters in main method. And next one is static int main with the parameters. We are returning some value in the integer form and also having string parameters into that main method. These all are like valid signatures. We can use any main method like this in this format. It is all valid, we can have into our program. If we want to return some values, we can use this one, or without returning any value, only just want to print some message, we can use this void keyword. Next one, we have simple main method example, like here is a namespace using system is a namespace, as I already said in my previous videos. Class program static main method, and we are using console.writeLine, like simply we are displaying some message through the terminal window. We can use writeLine for displaying the message, and here we are returning nothing, so we use void into this example, and also without parameters. Can we have multiple method names in C#? Yes, of course, we can create multiple methods into our C# program in console application, but it is not possible in the same class. We have to create multiple classes if we want to create multiple main methods into our classes. Like you can see one example here, like we create a class A and class B. We have two classes. Into these both classes we have main methods, but which one to start? Like it will only execute one main method, not all main methods into all classes. Like we have that it is a thing, like if we want to start the application, we put some value like the class name, which main method you want to work. So if we put class A, then this main method will work. Otherwise, if we put class B, then this main method will start. So it is a thing, but only one can be the entry point during execution. So this is the thing, like only one main method will work on the entry time. Use Visual Studio to set the startup object in project properties. If we want to set some specific class, like if we want to run this one class B main method, we have to set the properties If we want to use these settings, then we have to click the project and project properties, and then select startup object, where we have to like mention we want main method of class B to run into our program. Here is the thing like how to configure specific main method to run in multiple main methods. Like this is if we want to run second main method, then we have to set it into our application tab and set the startup object, which object we want to run. Like if we want to run second main method, then we have to put this second main method into a startup object. We will see a list of all classes, which class we want to start as the entry point of the application. So these are the points if you want to select any particular class or particular main method to run. Here is some note. You can see if we want to remove static from our main method, then what will happen? The main method must contain static keyword to run the program, or it is the entry point of the program to run successfully. Like suppose if we remove static keyword from our main method, it will throw and compile time error, as I already mentioned you previously. And it is must we have to put a static keyword into our main method. It is the main entry point of our console application. Here is the program which we created in our last video. Here we did like indexing, concatenation, string interpolation to adding two strings. But here we only lead some message like console.writeLine hello space, and suppose this is a single main method which is already created when we create our first project. And here is the thing, if we want to create multiple main method, first we have to create some different class. Like here we created another class, and in here we have to create static method, static main method, string arguments. Here is some message, hello CSharp. So here we can see multiple main methods but in different class, not in same class. And if we want to run this one hello CSharp, so we have to set it. First we have to move to a project, then right click and select properties. Here we have that application tab. Application tab in general, we have to set this startup object. We have two classes like program class, developer class. Developer class is that which we just created. We just select this one, developer class. Then we have to see what it prints. So we can see that hello CSharp is printed into this terminal window. Like we run specific class and specific main method through the startup object, where we just selected that startup object to start this main method. So here is the thing, we can also run, if we want to run program.cs file, we can program class we want, then we have to select this one. We can also see this output control plus F5. Now it will print hello, which is by default created a main method. So here is the thing. Now suppose if we just comment this one and we just remove static here. Now let's see what will happen. This is also one point, like it will throw some build time errors, like would you like to continue, program does not have a suitable static main method. So it is finding the static keyword, and the compiler did not find and throw the error of static keyword. So static is very important if we want to run our application, because it is the main entry point. Compiler needs this static keyword and find the main method. Next thing is if we want to send some arguments or values through this parameters, we can also do that. First we have to go to project and then properties, and then select debug. In debug tab we have journal tab, and journal we have to click this one, open debug launch profile UI. Here we can find command line arguments, where we have command line arguments to pass to the executable. You may break arguments into multiple lines. First we will pass single value like developer. Now this first we have to check which class is working, which main method is currently running. It is a main program method. Okay, we are passing developer values through these arguments. If we want to concatenate, we know the way. With plus we can concatenate this, and arguments we are using zero indexing because we have only one value into that. So now let's run this one, what it will show. Most probably it will show hello developers. We can see hello developer. Hello is that message which we write into console.writeLine, and developer is coming through these parameters from command line arguments. Suppose if we want to send multiple values, just select debug journal and open debug. Here we can send three values into a string list. But this will not work because it will only catch zero index value, not all 1 or 2. For this we have to use the for loop. And here we have to pass I instead of 0, so it will iterate through all three values because we put length. And this for loop concept, do while concept, while loops, I will explain this into next video. Here we can see we are iterate through all three values from arguments. Now let's run the project, what it will print. As it already displaying three values which I already mentioned in command line arguments. First one is hello developer, hello world, programming. These three values I put in command line arguments, and hello is printing from here. So here we clear the concept of multiple main methods and single main methods. Suppose we are using integer, we are returning some value from this. and we have to also use return because it wants something from our program to return, because we put integer, like it wants some value to return. Without it, it will throw an error in main method, like developer main argument string not all code paths return a value. So for this we have to return some value, some integer value, specific value. Now it will run this one and return one value. Suppose if we want to run this developer, we have to check this one. Now developer class will work, developer main method will invoke. Now it is running hello C#, and it is also returning value into the return type integer. Suppose if we have integer value in main method into this, where we like put some command line arguments. Here we also have to return some value like 1. Without this it will throw an error. So these all points are clear to you, I think. Now get back to our how to configure specific main methods to run in console application. We will already see that what is string arguments, as we already mentioned that and already saw the practical of this one. We now let's study of this. It's a parameter in a main method to accept command line arguments, as I already mentioned you in the practical. Command line arguments where we can put any values and it will reflect through this string array arguments. Args is an array of strings where each item is one argument. Arguments, it is using the arrays. So here we can put any kind of values into this, any string type values. It is an array of strings, and if we want to get these values, we have to put some values in the debug section in command line arguments. Allows user input when launching the program. Suppose if we launch the program or start the application, then we can get all values which we put into debug section. We can get it through arguments. Here we are like getting through 0 index. We put one value into this, so we are using indexing 0, and we are also checking that if its length is greater than 0 or not. Otherwise it will go here and display that there is no name argument present into this string arguments. So here is the format. You can see if we want to change the command line arguments. Properties, in project properties you can see debug tab and then application arguments. We can put any kind of values, developers, programming, C#, and run the project and see the result. So here is the output. If you want to see input argument developer, output hello developer. Hello is comes from console.writeline method, and developer is coming from arguments, from parameters. And if there is no input, then no arguments provided. So here is a summary of today's lecture. Let's revise again which we learned today. Main method is the entry point of the C# console application. Main method is the main method if we want to run our application, that must be there into that with the static keyword, because without static it will not run. It will throw the compile time error. If we want to use multiple main method, we can also use that also, but not in the same class. We have to create in different class. For this we have to create different class into, and then we can provide that new main method into that, and after that we have to set the properties in the startup object if we want to like invoke some specific main method. And string arguments is used to accept command line arguments. String arguments is like if we want to use that, we have to put some value in the command line arguments in the debug section. In command line arguments, where we can put any kind of value, like a string of arrays we can put multiple values, single values. It will reflect through the parameters into the main method. Visual Studio allows setting arguments and startup objects easily. In Visual Studio we can setting arguments and set up the object very easily. I already showed you that how we can easily find out the arguments, and we can change the arguments, and how we can set the startup object easily in our console application. Now let's wind up today's section. We covered all points in today's, like main methods, multiple main methods, string arguments with practical example. Now if you have any doubt related to today's concept, you can drop them in the comment section. You can write down in the comment section. I will definitely revert you back. And if you want any specific video on some specific concept, you can mention that in the comment section. Hope you like the video, so subscribe it, like it, and hit the bell icon for new upcoming videos. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a great smile day.